Have you ever looked at a new crypto token and just wondered, how did they do that? Well, I've got good news. It's not some kind of secret magic reserved only for coding wizards. It's actually a process, kind of like following a recipe, that's built on a universal blueprint. And today, we're going to walk through that exact blueprint, step by step. So here's how we're going to break it down. We've got 5 simple sections. We'll start with the blueprint itself. Then we'll get our digital tools together. After that, we'll craft the smart contract, the token's rulebook. Then we'll actually bring it to life on the blockchain. And finally, we'll talk about what happens next, once your token is out there in the wild. Yeah, it's a great question, right? You see thousands of new tokens popping up, and it's so easy to assume it's this incredibly complicated thing. But honestly, it's much more like assembling a piece of IKEA furniture than it is building a skyscraper from scratch. It really is all about following a clear set of instructions. So let's start with those instructions. Before we can build anything, we have to understand the plan. And in the world of Ethereum tokens, that plan has a name, the ERC20 standard.
Okay, so what is this ERC20 thing? The best way to think about it is like a USB port, right? Before USB, every single device had its own crazy, unique plug. It was a mess. That's what crypto tokens were like. Each one was this custom-built thing that needed special support. ERC20 completely changed the game. It created one standard, a common language, that lets any new token instantly plug into wallets, exchanges, and apps all over the Ethereum network. This is the standard that made the explosive growth of things like DeFi and NFTs even possible.
All right, so we've got the blueprint. Now, just like any project, we need to set up our workshop and get our tools ready. And the great news is, all of these tools are digital, and they're mostly free.
First up, you're going to need a digital wallet, something like MetaMask. This is going to act as your workbench, your ID, and your connection to the blockchain, all in one. Second, you'll need some test money. Now, this isn't real cash. It's practice money you get for free from something called a faucet, and it lets you experiment without any risk. And finally, you need a code editor like Remix. It's just a simple online tool where we'll actually write the rulebook for our token. And now for the main event, crafting the smart contract. Don't let the name intimidate you. A smart contract is really just a digital rulebook that can't be changed. It dictates exactly how your token behaves, and it does it automatically and permanently. The very first rule in our rulebook is giving the token an identity. And this is super simple. You just give it a full name, say explainer token, and then a short ticker symbol, maybe something like EXP. This is how people are going to find it and know what it is. Okay, next up is a really crucial rule. The total supply. You, the creator, get to decide if 100, a million, or a billion of your tokens will ever exist. And once you decide, that number gets locked into the contract forever. This is the whole basis of digital scarcity, just like Bitcoin's famous 21 million coin limit. And the cool part is, anyone can check this number on the blockchain, which creates trust through pure math. Rule number 2 turns the contract into its own little bank ledger. It keeps a constant public record of who owns how many tokens in real time. And this isn't stored on some company's private server. It's built right into the blockchain itself. That makes it a totally transparent and tamper-proof accounting system that's always on. And finally, we have the rule that really makes the token useful, the transfer function. This simple piece of code is what lets people securely send their tokens to each other. I mean, without it, all you have is a list of names and numbers. With it, you have a real, functional digital asset. Okay, so our rulebook is written. It's got an identity, a fixed supply, a ledger, and the ability to be transferred. Now it's time to take this piece of code and actually publish it on the blockchain, officially bringing our token into existence. And we do that with a clear 4-step process. This workflow is super logical. First, we just finalize the rules in our code editor. Second, we compile it, which is just a fancy word for running a spell check on the code to make sure there aren't any mistakes. Third, and this part is key, we do a practice run on what's called a test net. And then finally, when we are 100% sure everything works perfectly, we go live on the mainnet. Now, this whole testnet versus mainnet thing, it is absolutely critical to understand. The testnet is basically your practice arena. It's a perfect copy of the real blockchain, but you're using that fake play money. It's completely safe to mess up, find bugs, and just make sure everything is perfect. Think of it like a dress rehearsal for a play. Because once you deploy to the mainnet, that's the live show, that's opening night. Everything is real, every action is final, and it involves real value, no do-overs. So you've done it. You've tested your contract, you've deployed it to the mainnet, and your token is now officially live. But launching it isn't the end of the story. In a lot of ways, it's really just the beginning. See, once that contract is deployed, it's kind of like you've launched a satellite into orbit. It's now a permanent part of the blockchain, and it exists completely independently of you. It'll just keep executing its own rules, tracking balances and processing transfers without you having to do anything. You haven't just written some code, you've created a self-sufficient digital asset. And this is really where that ERC20 blueprint we talked about pays off big time. Instantly, your brand new token is compatible with the entire Ethereum ecosystem. Anyone can hold it in their wallet, they can trade it on a decentralized exchange, or a developer could even build it into an app. And because it all lives on a public blockchain, anyone, anywhere in the world can go and verify its rules and its entire history for themselves. And that really gets to the heart of it all. The code itself becomes the source of trust. The rules are out in the open, they're permanent, and they're totally predictable. It's not based on a promise from a person or a company. It's a digital agreement that works exactly the way it's written for everyone to see and use. So we've seen the how. It's a very logical process. It's not some crazy magic. But it's so important to remember that the token itself is just the tool. It could be a key, a vote, a share in something, or reward. The technology is just the foundation. The real question, the one that drives all the innovation in the space, is what will you or what will other people build with it?